here for 7 years in Washington, but what seasons leading up to a season, it can be anywhere between '04 and 2010, but what seasons leading up to week one did you think was your best chance to make a deep playoff run? That's the first question, and I guess I'll hold off on the second part. But yeah, what year was that for you, or if it was multiple years, what years was that for you?
Well, I think '04 when you brought in Marcus Washington, Sean Springs, Brunel, it was like a change of guard. Something was brewing. And '05, everything kind of came together. Um, Everything came together in '05, and, it was like we were dead and just came back to life. I think we went on a 7 or 8 game win streak, which energized the city and brought something different now. And that just brought a brotherhood. If you were in the locker room, it was so many different crews and cliques, but people could never tell. Like if we were out in public, you could never tell. And I think that was the beauty of it because it was like a brotherhood. It was big brother, little brother in the locker room where we spar and we argue and, maybe even fight. But once we got out in public, it was like, man, let's pull this shit together and have a good time. And then once you got on the field, you were able to kind of trust each other and believe in each other. And then '07 was special because everyone had to come together due to the death of Sean. So going into '08, bro, I felt like, with Coach Gibbs leaving, the change of guard, everything, I think we started off like 6-2. Going into '08, we
Oh yeah.
the team still had that connection and that bond from Sean before that was interrupted. And then, I think the realization from '05 to '08, it was like you give your all, you give your all to an organization, you give your all to a city, you leave it on the field, like every game, if you look at that time, I think once a year, maybe we were in a blowout or something. But every week was competitive. Every game was come down to the last possession, and you just had hard nosed football players. And then all of a sudden, you come to the realization, like for me, I think it kind of clicked when they removed Sean Jersey from the locker room and took it to the stadium, which I think is a great idea now. But at that time, and when they moved that locker and they put Jamal Brown, nothing to Jamal Brown. I think he good teammate, good guy, but they replaced Sean Taylor locker with Jamal Brown, and it was like so many lockers in that locker room or so much space where you could have just added a locker, and I think that just gave you that mentality, like, man, you're replaceable. Like you're like Sean,
Yeah.
Sean locker, and it just was like that same I'll run through a brick wall or I'll jump off, run through a fire or a burning building or whatever, the notion that you would like to say, it just wasn't there. It was that, like, damn, man, like, you just replaced me. That was the first time that I
Go ahead.
really felt like the real business of football.